Ladies and gentlemen, time to finally present the latest update to my brand new HO scale modern day South Florida layout. And as you have already seen in the last 30 odd seconds or more, I don't even know because I'm going to edit this video after I talk. You have seen a lot of transformative changes that I did not account for in the last updates. And there's a lot that I have to show you today. So let's start and have a look. So here are my ScaleTrains Tier 4 CSX locomotives, but the last time that I shot these videos on this layout there was a huge difference. And that big difference is when I shot them on this layout they were static. They were not powered, they were not operating. But now, have a look at this. An NCE power cab DCC system has finally been purchased. Very basic, this is the elementary 1.7 amp. But I think for a layout that's going to be about this size, and I'm kind of like thumbing through the area of this, and it's going to go over where that jumbled mess is. Apologies for the mess, but I just did a lot of rearranging lately. For a layout that's only about 18 feet this way and 13 feet this way, I think the most that I would need is just a small booster. So this is the NCE Power Cab DCC system, the first ever DCC installation in my house. The last time that an HO scale train ever ran it was using a lifelike transformer, and actually I kind of lied there. I was testing HO scale engines using a Bachmann transformer, which I managed to scoop up from a thrift store years ago. But the moral here is that I have finally moved in and went with up-to-date powering options, and I promise you, yes, you see that circuit board hanging there, but I promise you it is handled with the utmost care. I always hold it with two hands when unplugging and carrying it. Since this is an uninsulated room, I don't usually keep the DCC set up here overnight. When I am done, I usually pack it away and put it in my room, my bedroom. So that's one thing. The other thing is, since the last time that I did shoot this video, the tracks were just laid in kind of spur of the moment fashion. Nothing was tied down to the table. Now have a look at this. I not only cut my cork board that I had lying around for years into strips, but I have finally permanently mounted these double main up to this point. Now whatever is Atlas Code 83 concrete flex track is permanently planted down. The Pico track that is adjacent to it is for now temporary. That is not to say that I will not use the Pico track, but that is to say that I used a different track as kind of a placeholder for a future alignment. One big commitment I'm making, is you can kind of see as I eyeball the curve radius, is that I'm going to make the curves as wide as I can so that I can accommodate cars like these Autoracks, which for the first time I have not had any issues so far. As you saw that I shoved the train earlier. I feel that the track work that I did do here is a little bit amateur, to say the least, but for what I feel was a challenging piece of track, the Autoracks handled it perfectly. So that takes care of two elements that I have added to this layout since I think it was March the last time I put out a video. The third, and the one that's most recent, is this new table extension, which was just added today. It's a 6-foot long board by 18 inches deep, and as you can see, it can easily accommodate 6 car lengths, including engines. So I have done a lot of test footage, and I might include it in this package, with 6 double-stack containers cars. But now I could actually run my test trains a longer distance, and these wall cars, rather the ones I tested this layout with, could actually be contained entirely within that board. So now I can actually do higher speed testing ops, and from what I've run earlier this week, these engines run pretty well, and this layout's working pretty well. Fingers crossed, knocking on wood for the future, hopefully. I'm very hopeful that I will get this set up right. This is Code 83 track, for those that may wonder. I heard Code 83 is not the best when it comes to durability, but for what I have experienced, this installation of Code 83 has been without any significant issue. So that's a very promising sign for the future, and I'm hoping as I keep laying track that I will continue to keep this consistent level of dexterity going, for lack of a better word. So enough yapping. I'm going to be showing you guys run-by footage of this very miniature, tiny Q228 or something, I don't know, name your auto rack train on CSX, and I will come back with what's going to happen in the future. So I can tell you guys what are the next plans for this layout. The first one is primarily going to be building a new raised table leg for this guy, so that this can join the rest of the tables at 4 feet in height. And in fact, this will be the last wooden table to be built. Of course, all the Lego and other stuff that's on here is going to be cleared out by then. Because, and I say this is going to be the last wood table because after that, as I build out this way, the plan is to go with extruded foamular insulation the rest of the way, as it is a more layout friendly material, plus it's lighter, which will make table construction a lot easier. I've already cut a few corners here, even though I lost the drill bit in constructing this extension. I was able to actually save on the number of drill bits used by going from 2 bits to 1 bit, as I figured out that I didn't really need a certain bit. The one that actually did go bad ended up not being even needed, because I was able to still get the screws in just the same as if it was included. And also there, as you may notice, as opposed to this table, there's no brace. This is a much lighter board and much shorter section, so I figured I can do without it, but only on this particular board. I don't know what the situation will be for the balance of the layout, but I feel like a lighter construction will actually be more favorable going forward. Granted, these are very heavy sections that I built back in March, and back in 2012, that's when the top of the table was originally constructed. If you remember way back when I committed to doing Deerfield Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and Pompano, that was the setup. These were the 2 committed tables, but they never got legs until earlier this year. Another thing you may be wondering is why are there CSX engines when earlier this year I called this an FEC layout. Really, I'm kind of a versatile modeler. I found CSX to be more exciting as a modeling subject. It was originally what got me into this. FEC is just as fun, but it did not have as much pizzazz early on, especially for the sake of nostalgia, as CSX does. A lot of what CSX runs here is very model railroad-genic, as in photogenic. Downtown Spur definitely is an inspiration, the one that Lance did, among other things. I mean, the early 2000s operations are my favorite, but obviously I want to give it a present-day feel. So this layout is actually going to be designed to encourage operations from both FEC and CSX. So the name Intermodal Speedway is going to be dropped. However, there is going to be an intermodal ramp right where those well cars are sitting. It's expected to span out this entire way. It'll be a very long terminal, probably accommodating 36 cars at a time. I take intermodal very seriously in HO scale, as you'll see in the coming months when I get certain pre-orders in. But I also take manifest very seriously, and that's why the balance of the layout is going to be all manifest switching. So there will be hopefully two mainline loops coming around. I'm actually in what would be kind of an island, a navigating island in between two sections, so it won't be this wide open in the future. Two mainline loops, lots of customers, possibly some kind of a staging accommodation, and eventually lots and lots of fun to be had. I'm really excited about scenery. That's why I've actually gone ahead and done this layout. I really want to have my own taste of the scenery experience, and of course enjoy this hobby in the most fun and satisfying way that it can be enjoyed. So thank you guys for checking in and watching this video. Hopefully like, comment, and subscribe. I welcome lots of constructive criticism on the setup. This is I admit this is very amateur setup, but I feel like for a first time this isn't too bad, and I hope to only get stronger going forward. From HQ, where there is a CSX auto rack train sitting on the main, this is TE out.